Hey guys, still here and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, where today numbers don't matter. In the previous video I was doing the modern battleship mission, and you build a battleship, you fight against an enemy fleet. Now I am that enemy fleet. I have a couple of destroyers as allies. The enemy fleet consists of a battleship and 2 destroyers, but this is one of those modern battleships. This is basically the behemoth that I have been building in the modern battleship mission. So it's going to be a really tough fight. And even though I might have destroyers and I can build a battleship or battlecruiser, it is still going to be tricky, and I very much expect to lose this on the first go. So let's see how well I can do. I'm going to go for boosting of technology, especially long-range accuracy is going to be critical. And not only that, but I also hope to get radar with that, so that I can at the very least, well, try to get some hits in before that ship blows me out of the water at maximum range. My objective is to sink 100% of the battleships, so just their one battleship, and I need to keep 30% of my either battleships or battlecruisers alive. This is not going to... If that thing has as much armor as I put on my battleship previously, it's going to be a hell of a fight. Now let's make this thing pretty quick, 26, maybe 27 knots even, which is fast for a Dreadnought 4. But the main reason is that if that ship has those 18-inch guns, I will need to get into range. I can probably fire back at the ship with 18 inchers myself. So sure enough, this would help. But I don't really have... Well, actually, I got a good number of funds here. We'll just have to see. What can I build if I go big? 62,000 tons. Keep in mind that the ship that I'm fighting potentially has a displacement of 104,000 tons, I think it is. Now, making sure that engines keep operational, I'm going to get diesel to 100% ship repairs, especially engines. Let's see what I can do if I go for a couple of double barrel 18 inchers. I'm going to get a reload of 73 seconds, and that's before counting reload boosters. 50 seconds even, or 44 if you want to go double barrel. The rest are all Mark III guns. Oh, we even got a Mark IV here. The 15-inch guns, Mark IV. So that means that at, say, a range of 25,000 meters, which I think this fight is going to be had, I would have an accuracy of 1%, compared to an accuracy of... 2%. Jesus, that's not a whole lot better. Okay, let's see if I can fit on a couple of 18-inch double barrel, because I think the 18-inch triple are pretty hard to fit on this ship. What? They can fit? Wow. Somebody mentioned this in the comments previously. How it's weird that the double barrel turrets are pretty much the same size as the triple. Look at this. This is a double barrel. And the triple is exactly the same size. You can almost overlap these things. That is pretty unusual. Now I want to be chasing that ship. So if at all possible... I cannot use a superimposed or a huge superimposed barbette, are you kidding? Really? Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's lovely, but that means that I cannot put another 18-inch gun in front of that. Not even if I go for a single, I think. Nope, doesn't work. So I don't really need that. If I go for a medium, well, medium, a big, what sort of turret would fit on there? 15? Nope. I think the limit's about 12... 13-inch could fit. But 13-inch really isn't that interesting. My accuracy is dreadful at a 0.5%. And I was fighting at 30-kilometer range previous. So that's the range that I'm expect to do battle at in this conflict as well. Alright, so here's the plan. A couple of 18-inch armed battleships, which are very much geared towards long-range warfare. Preferably chase mode. So preferably quite a few guns on the bow, not too many guns on the stern, presenting a smaller superstructure or a smaller profile that way. and hopefully not get smacked by those 18-inch guns. Okay, I can also fit a 14. Can I add a 15? Yeah, 15 can still fit. 16. 16 is where the game draws the line. Alright. She's probably going to be pretty heavy on the bow offset. But at this rate, I would build 5 battleships. Which I'm never going to be able to do, because I still need to up armor, damage control, rangefinders, radars. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty expensive build. Now, on the stern, I'm not too sure what to put on the stern. I could put an 18-inch, mostly just to try and keep the balance of the ship. And I still need to do a secondary tower and a funnel. Oil, forced boilers, and then comes the funnel. The mega funnel at that. We now have an engine efficiency of 100%. That's what I want to see. Let's go for maximum bulkheads. Auxiliary engine. I'm very much expecting to take hits. So I think a Aux 3 with 40% ship repair would be very helpful. But they are also quite expensive. And I'm down to 2 battleships at this point. Barbette armor. Well, if I'm going to go big for 2 battleships, I might as well give them the maximum protection. Anti-flood 3. Citadel turtleback armor. Especially resistant against longer ranges, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, sorry, no, this is the one that I want. All or nothing. Plunging fire resistance. That is more important. Now, radio position finding or radio direction finding I don't think is terribly important. Because I already have my radar. Auto reloaders, check. Electrical turrets, check. There are some destroyers around. But hopefully I'll be able to just, well, mostly steer clear of those things. Let's see, this is more damage and less reload time. Reloads down to 47 seconds. I can live with that. Okay, secondary guns. Aft weight offset, 1.3%. 8-inch? No, it's too close to the turret. Could I move my second tower a little bit further forward? No, not without running into the first one. But I might be able to move the first one forward a notch. And then try to balance it out that way. Let's see if it's still properly lined up. I think I could fit the 15-inch. Yes. They're pretty much laying on top of the other turret. Oh well, as long as I can keep the ship balanced and get the maximum accuracy out of it, I'm fine. Aft weight offset 0.1%, but that's not accounting for a funnel. Still 0.1%. That's something I don't really mind too much. If I put the rear tower 1 or even, yeah, 1 point further forward... Then a couple of secondaries. Just an 8-inch to defend against those destroyers, because they could come in close, and they could be very, very deadly indeed. Okay, what else do I need? Deck armor. I think deck armor in this case is going to be very important. Because without it, I will suffer plunging fire. And without this armor, the plunging fire could be absolutely devastating. So 5-inch extended deck armor plus 100% means I have 10-inch deck armor. Belt armor is not going to be very good, I'm afraid. That is something that I hope not to have to rely on too much. 5-inch turret top armor, so effectively 10-inch. 6-inch on the secondaries. Can I go a little bit more on the deck? 8-inch deck armor. And I'm just going into 1 to 2 battleship territory. There. 5.1 inch deck extended. Now, I think that this battleship is not quite as tough as it can be. I don't have reinforced bulkheads. Actually, yeah, I don't want these. And the double hull... No, let's go for a single hull. But just make sure that I reduce the armor a little bit. Because I definitely want to have 2 battleships. There. Here's the difference. 7.5-inch deck armor. We are now building the Caesar-class battleship. Offset is 0.1%. Displacement 55 out of a possible 62,000 tons. I could reduce that. And see if the ship doesn't shrink. Because then I can throw on some additional protection. So far, so good. There. That's the tipping point. 56,700 tons. Alright, so that did save me some. And I can now put that into, for example, super heavy shells. And also more armor. I think armor is going to be very, very critical here. What do I not have a lot of armor on yet? Lowest point's currently the top armor. Or turret top armor. 6-inch. Let's go for this for 6-inch. Could I go for 8? Yes, I can. A bit more belt armor. Coming dangerously close to the 2 battleship line. Can I relocate that turret just slightly to make it more stable? 18-inch double barrel. Yeah, about 0.2. Okay, this is going to be a tank of a battleship. Hopefully. Here we go. Send it. I have seen what that long-range battleship, that behemoth, can do to my destroyers. Or rather, I have seen what my battleship could do to their destroyers. Right, they're in the northeast. That is over there. Yeah, that way. Alright, ships, turn tail. We have an escort of 5, make that 7 destroyers. Armed with torpedoes at a range of 8 kilometers. These are 22-inch torpedoes. That's a lot of firepower. Speed on the destroyers is 36 knots. And we have a separate class. The Necator and the Westminster. Which have 22-inch torpedoes as well, but they're slightly slower. Alright, go directly towards the enemy. Intercept the destroyers. Potentially set a smokescreen. And overall, try to get into range of those torpedoes. Now we're crossing directly through the formation of the battleship, so I expect quite a bit of trouble here. Because the game, and more importantly its pathfinding, is pretty bad. Okay, we got eyes on the battleship. What are we looking at? I think that is 10 18-inch guns. With a significant supporting battery of secondaries. Yeah, that's going to be fun. We already have an 8% chance to hit. Which is actually pretty good. I wonder how good this guy's defenses are. Okay, let's slow down. Go to half speed. I don't want to get too close with the Kaiser, or sorry, with the Caesar and the Albemarle. Because I don't really have to. The 18-inch should do the trick. Destroyers increase the flank. And the other destroyers go right into peril. Move here. We also have another radar return. Seems to be the destroyers. At least that's what there's another one. Okay, first couple of rounds are airborne. Chances to hit are already locked in at 13 and 14. And so far, it seems that it has not yet been spotting us. So far, so good. That can change, however, at any moment. In which case, it is really quite likely to try and turn and get all guns on target. There we go, it has spotted the Caesar. And is returning fire. First couple of salvos won't be terribly accurate. but the next couple ones very well might be. We inflicted the first bit of damage. Mid-deck... sorry about that. Not safe for children. Mid-deck penetration. That was not intentional. Mid-deck penetration for 97 damage. Bounced off. A couple more rounds just falling short. And the Caesar has taken a return fire damage for 27. Lower compartment. Okay, we're still 20% through identification, so this is going to take a good bit of time. Look at that shell fire. Fortunately, he doesn't quite seem to be able to get this turret and that turret on target. So he's firing back with 6 guns versus my 6 guns as well. I could get the battleships to go a little bit more broadside and hopefully also get the stern guns involved. That would almost double my firepower. Well, rather, add a third. Oh, crap. I took a really big hit there on the Caesar. The Caesar is heavily on fire. And to make matters worse, one of my turrets took a hit, seemingly. But the 18-inch on the bow is still functional. For the moment. Oh dear. The Caesar so far is doing really quite poorly. All that deck armor does not defend against 18-inch guns. Maximum bulkheads, so the fire is under control. But I cannot keep taking hits like this. The ship will not survive that. Conning tower down. Look at the accuracy on that ship. Still don't know exactly what it is. Damage to the main gun. Well, we can almost say goodbye to the Caesar. I'm gonna turn right into him, hoping that I don't take too much fire on the belt. Because that might be the thing that's taking the brunt of the damage at the moment. And that's not really too happy about it. Oh no. Okay, most of that bounced off. What about my shells? Am I bouncing off? Or am I just shattering his armor? See, that's his volley. These are my volleys. Oh crap, he just went broadside. All of these guns are now firing. Get over here. Another hit to the Caesar. Another one. Caesar's not flooding, but has taken a lot of damage. Miss, miss, and more miss. Where are my destroyers? Could I set a smoke screen? Would that help? I'll just try anything at this point. Does the Caesar have rudder issues, or is it just not willing to turn? That seemed to bounce off. That bounced off as well. Damage to the secondary tower, and ship is on fire. Okay, he's down to 91. I need to keep 30% of my battleships alive, which translates to have one of your battleships survive. But even that could very well be quite tricky. Caesar, what the hell are you doing? Detach. Caesar, turn this way, you idiot. Left, left, left. Doesn't have any rudder issues either. Damage to the main gun. Very good. Although this could end the Caesar if this serval actually gets in. Damage to main gun. Damage to the funnel. Destroyed the funnel. Armor shattered. So far the 18-inch guns are surviving, but the big question is how long is that going to last? At least the Albemarle seems fine for the moment. Another fire set. I think this thing might also have a load of bulkheads, because those fires are not sticking. He's able to put those out way too fast, making it very hard to actually burn him down. But if I can crack the armor, then fire HE salvos at him, that might help. Destroyers are still trying to get into range. We have an 8-kilometer range, and we're 14 clicks out. %. It seems that my battleships have elected to go for HE shells, which might not be a bad idea. Damage to the main gun and destroyed their funnel. I think that's their only one. So this could slow the ship down, reducing engine efficiency thanks to having destroyed funnels. Report on that battleship. Well, Caesar's operational, but not by much. And it seems... No, that was just a gun... that was smoke from the guns. Not very much a smoke screen. But there is a destroyer here. Unknown class and identification. Work in progress. Alright, DDs turn here, and the other DDs turn here as well. Fire, fire, fire on the stern. Identification almost through. Just cracking the armor a little bit. I hope that at some point he's going to switch fire to my destroyers. Because it might be a little tough on the destroyers, but they don't need to survive. They can be missed of sorts. 14 clicks out. Damage to the main tower. He's down to 83%. Caesar's still firing, but not nearly as accurate as the Albemarle, which is still very much working on setting fires. But as you can see, the fires just don't stick. I want you to do... No, never mind. Stick with HE. 15% chance to pen is just not good enough. Stick to HE. And I guess I'm going to have to rely on the destroyers to do actual damage to the hull, and especially flooding damage. Because I will not quite be able to get a good kill on that. Hold on, he had destroyers as escorts, right? Because these look suspiciously like light cruisers. And more importantly, one of those guys just sent torpedoes into the water. Which I think the Necator and the Westminster are not going to take kindly to. Oh shit, there's even more in the water. Let's turn into the torpedoes. And keep going. So far, it seems like the Albemarle is weathering the storm quite well. Secondary tower has been knocked out, but accuracy is still at 63%. The Caesar is still firing, accuracy down to 22%, but is still operational and still doing damage. And yes, the ships are, or the, what is it, the Duquesne is now firing at the Necator as well. It only needs one hit, and that came awfully close. Alright, Necator, port turn. Another fire set, he's down to 78. I hope that the Westminster is not going to blindly follow the Necator and sail into torpedoes. Come on, full turn. I need those torpedoes in the water against the destroyer, against the La Droit. First set out, second set out. Very good. Turn back in. Present yourself as a small profile. In the meanwhile, the battleships are still duking it out. So far, I still have not knocked out any guns. I'm going to detach the Westminster because I don't trust its ability to avoid those torpedoes. Turn. Turn more. Westminster, you don't want to do this. Okay, Westminster seems fine. My salvo is going for the... Oh, there goes the indicator. What I think was originally the La Droite, but seems to now have the potential to hit the Tonkinois. Hold on, was that an armor shatter? Or was that an overpen? Chance to pen, 17%. This thing has a maximum of 17 inches of armor. Plus 90%. Oh my, this is going to be hard to sink. At least my destroyers are getting into range. And currently sending out torpedoes against the destroyers. It's not a prime target. I really want them to engage the battleship. And just get in the battleship's path. These guys don't have smoke yet. Okay. Another bit of damage to the main guns. They're still operational. There goes the Westminster. That's the second destroyer from that group that's dead. And this battleship is now very interested in the destroyers. Because they're probably posing a massive threat to him. Onslow now taking fire from the secondary batteries from the Duquesne. Just go for aggressive torpedo launches. I need those things in the water, if only to do a little bit of extra structural damage and potentially knock out a gun. Oh, the Tonkinois seems to have taken a torpedo hit. Very good, that's one destroyer less to worry about. Torpedoes out from the Walker. Destroyed secondary tower. His accuracy, though, is locked on at 100%. And what is he going for? I think the Albemarle. Albemarle is returning the favor and also hitting with a chance of 100%. The Caesar is much farther behind, but is able to get all guns on target. Maintain HE fire. You're currently not the biggest concern for the ship. So hopefully you can go broadside for a bit and get more guns on. Obedient is fire torpedoes. This is... what is that, one launcher? No, that's a 4 and a 2. So they send out 6 torpedoes each. Skillful hasn't sent yet. Walker has sent. Onslow's almost reloaded. So we're going to be filling up the space a bit with more torpedoes. And I gotta say, so far I'm not doing too poorly. I thought that we would lose the Caesar very, very quickly there, but so far it seems to be doing quite well. Okay, damage to the main gun. I want to knock out a main gun. Knock out one of his turrets, he just loses 20% of his firepower. Seems like he has noticed potentially the torpedoes and is turning away to avoid. But the damage might already be done, because the torpedoes are coming awfully close to the ship. It's down to 51%. He's turning hard starboard, very much trying to avoid the torpedoes, and I think he will get away with it. Is this going to hit on the stern? Yes. One hit on the stern and flooding. Damage to his engines. He's going to notice that, because that means less avoidance of torpedoes. But the torpedoes that are already in the water might be affected, as they were sent on a situation where the ship still had full maneuvers. What's your speed? 19 knots. Looks like the Albemarle also took a hit to its... Was that its conning tower? Yeah, its accuracy dropped 60%. Damage to the secondary guns. Any more torpedoes in the water? Yeah, there's one directly in the wake of this ship. Coming in right about now. Maybe knocking out its rudder. At the very least, all of these torpedoes are forcing the ship to maneuver. And by doing that, they're making it very much more complex for it to get all guns on target. Alright, destroyers, I want you to keep hounding this ship. Range currently 5 kilometers. Let's go for a maximum turn. And avoid all of that firepower that he has. Or at least most of it. More cracks in the armor. Interestingly, I still haven't knocked out his rudder. Okay, the skillful is not going to survive. That thing took a mouthful of 18-inch. And just got wiped out. There she goes. Come on, Walker. I know it's not the best angle, but any little bit helps. HE, please, in the whole group. Out of my 7 destroyers, I still have 3 of them left. But this ship is now doing quite poorly. It is making a full turn, but before those turrets on the bow turn around, we're going to be a while. So hopefully I get a little refrain from taking severe damage. Chance to pen, 21% still, at 12 kilometers out. So if I keep this distance, I will not pen him, but I can just keep slinging high explosive at him. And just continue to do damage that way. Oh shit, there's still a destroyer here. Avoid... Walker, turn! Oh, that came close. That really came awfully close. Torpedo aggressiveness to standard. Smoke up when ready. Enemy battleship down to 29%. And look at all the damaged segments. So far, I've damaged a lot. Destroyed some sections of his armor. But nothing actually completely lethal. Oh, talking of lethal. I think the Walker is down for the count. And the Ladois, for some reason, has this massive amount of smokestacks. 5 smokestacks on a destroyer. 4-inch triple guns. And a set of 14-kilometer range torpedoes. There goes the Walker. Why don't I get 14-kilometer range torpedoes, though? That would really help me out. Alright, while I still have the Obedient and the Vehement, let's see if I can get some more torpedoes out on the battleship. It's down to 27. Come on, get your torpedoes away. Where are they located on the ship? On the stern and amidships. He is not firing. Or she, rather. Hold on now. How did you get a quadruple deck launcher? Because I, for sure, couldn't fit these onto the ship. Deck tubes. I couldn't do it when I was playing that. I could go for single underwater torpedo launchers, but not a quadruple launcher like that. Obedience out. Vehement, make a maximum starboard or port turn. And maybe, just maybe, you live long enough. Ladois. Target for the Obedient. Oh, she's listing to starboard. Yeah, she's done. I don't think she's going to get torpedoes away. Potentially, she's getting right in the way of the Vehement as it's trying to launch its torpedoes. Enemy battleship down to 20%. What's her speed? 13 knots. Still slinging a lot of HE shells at the target. Again, a fire set. Come on. It still hasn't launched the torpedoes. There goes the obedient. Oh dear. I don't get why it's not launching its torpedo. There we go. Torpedoes away. Just try to stay clear. Turn around. Where's the Albemarle? Range to target. There goes the Vehement. 10 clicks. Slow down a bit more. I don't want to get close to this thing. Fire and flooding. Looks like the stern of the ship is getting really weak. But now it's down to the battleships, which are still getting peppered by 18-inch rounds. And not just that, the secondaries are also starting to hail fire. Probably mostly HE fire. Alright, torpedo launcher destroyed. Main guns are still operational. Just another torpedo destroyed. Secondary tower destroyed. Destroyed the barbette. It's down to 7%. Come on, make it happen. The destroyer is staying at range, so shouldn't be a torpedo threat. But I just seem to take a good bit of damage. Yep, the Albemarle lost its stern turret. It's down to 3%. Slay the beast. Destroyed yet another torpedo. Come on. Ship seems to be down on the... No, actually it's not down in the water. It's just a visual effect. 2%. Ship's on fire again. The fire might be taking hold, because it's raging in all the destroyed compartments. Another fire set. Seems like it's completely dead in the water. All engines have been damaged. Speed 7.3 knots. No, it's not actually dead in the water. Not quite. Destroy yet another torpedo. Come on. Finish it off. Before she kills you. And trust me, she can still do that. %63% chance to hit on the Caesar. Funnel destroyed. I thought we already did that. Caesar's firing on all guns. 18-inch, 15-inch. The only thing that's not working is the 8-inch. Which is very unsurprising because at this range, it's not likely to hit anything. Come on. At this point, it's not much more than a husk. But a husk with 18-inch guns. That's the concerning bit. I lost the main tower. Oh shit, the Albemarle's out of guns. The Albemarle completely lost all turrets. The only thing I have left is an 8-inch. And it looks like the destroyer is coming in for the kill. Here she comes. Target the destroyer. Not with the 18-inch, not with the 15-inch, just with the 8-inch. On the stern. Maximum turn. It has no torpedoes left. Oh, it's just a gunboat at this stage. With 4-inch guns. Okay, so it's all going to come down to the Caesar at this point. The ship is surviving currently on 2%. The Albemarle having another couple of shells bounce off. Screw it. If you're just going to fire 4-inch guns at me or not even, then I'm not going to turn. Because the Albemarle is currently tanking all the damage that's coming in from the Duquesne. Ship. Speed 5.7 knots. Jeez, are you really 20 clicks away? I think it is. Well, no matter. We're still doing damage. The big question is, to what exactly? Damage to the main gun. Still no kills on the main gun. Fire set. On the stern. Come on. I'm not sure if in this game damage saturation is actually a thing, so that if a compartment gets so heavily damaged that it just refuses to take any further damage. Now the fire is raging on the bow and the stern. It's hard to tell how much secondaries it still has left, but for the moment it seems like most, if not all, of the secondaries are still operational. Alright, Caesar, I want you to fire an AP salvo. Because I think that most of the armor on this ship is currently gone. At least I'm rather hoping so. So maybe an AP salvo will get through and finish it off once and for all. Nope, that seemed to bounce off harmlessly. Albemarle is still fighting for its life. Damage to main gun, still 1%. Hell of a fight. Once again, ship is heavily on fire, but once again it gets put out. Much respect to the damage control parties. They got him! They got him. Structural damage sinks the behemoth. The Duquesne is no more. Mission complete. Was not expecting to get the first attempt to actually work. Because I did this mission at least, I think, once on the stream a couple of weeks ago, and it completely failed. Really didn't work. But this time around, it did. The battleships took a hell of a pounding, and all of the destroyers got sacrificed, but the mission got done. Nice job on the battleships. They fought for their lives with every bit they had, and it was worth it, because the Duquesne has been sunk. Just another round of the Brits teaching the French who is the master of the seas. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like the game, it is still available on pre-order currently. Maybe by the time that you're watching this, if it's in a couple of months, the game has been released. Update Alpha 3, as far as I've been told, is pretty soon. No idea when. And that should introduce a couple more very interesting elements. So that's something that I'm definitely looking forward to, because it allows you to get a few more challenges and a few more interesting designs out as well. So more on that as soon as it is out. For now, thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you later.